Parinachacharya, Ashtadara Satta Shri Shrima, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Panamahamsa Parinachacharya, Ashtadara Satta Shri Shrima, His Divine Grace Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasade Gaura Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Gaur Gopinan, Shama Kun Radha Kun, Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagnapuri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Chamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai. Transcendental book distribution Ki Jai. Transcendental prasadam distribution Ki Jai. Harinama Sankirtan Ki Jai. ISKCON New Dwarkadham Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanandi Hari 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 Bo. All glories to the Sambodhi Bodhis Hare Krishna. All glories to the Sambodhi Bodhis Hare Krishna. All glories to the Sambodhi Bodhis Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Daya Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nanayana Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devin Sarasvatim Vyasam Tattvachayam Uditayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhakti Pravati Naishtiki. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 13, text number 18. Viduras Tat Api Pratya Dhritarashtam Abhashata Rajam Nigamyatam Shikram Pashedam Bayam Agatam Vidurastada Bipretya Dhritarashtam Abhashata Rajanikamyatam Shikram Pashedam Bayam Agatam Vidurastada Bipretya Dhritarashtam Abhashata Rajanikamyatam Shakram Pashedam Bayam Agatam Vidurastada Bipretya Dhritarashtam Abhashata Rajanikamyatam Ashikram Pashedam Bayam Agatam Vidurastada Vipretya Dhritarashtam Abhashata Shigram Pashedam Bayam Agatam Krishnastada Vipetya. Mataji's Viduraha Mahatma Vidura Tat that Api Pratya knowing it well. Dhritarashtra unto Dhritarashtra Apashata said, Rajam, O king, Nikamyatam, please get out immediately. Shikram, without the least delay. Pasha, just see. Idam, this. Bhayam, fear. Agatam, already arrived. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Mahatma Vidura knew all this, and therefore he addressed Dhritarashtra saying, My dear king, please get out of here immediately. Do not delay. Just see how fear has overtaken you. So please repeat. Mahatma Vidura knew all this, and therefore he addressed Dhritarashtra, saying, My dear king, please get out of here immediately. Do not delay. Just see how fear has overtaken you. Purport. Cruel death cares for none, be he Dhritarashtra or even Maharaj Yudhishthira. Therefore, spiritual instruction as was given to old Dhritarashtra was equally applicable to younger Maharaj Yudhishthira. As a matter of fact, everyone in the royal palace, including the king and his brothers and mothers, was rapidly attending the lectures. But it was known to Vidu that his instructions were especially meant for Dhritarashtra, who was too materialistic. The word Rajam is especially addressed to Dhritarashtra significantly. Dhritarashtra was the oldest son of his father, and therefore, according to law, he was to be installed on the throne of Hastinapur. But because he was blind from birth, he was disqualified from his rightful claim. But he could not forget the bereavement, and his disappointment was somewhat compensated after the death of Pandu, his younger brother. His younger brother left behind him some minor children, and Dhritarashtra became the natural guardian of them. But at the heart, he wanted to become the factual king and hand the kingdom over to his own sons, headed by Duryodhana. With all these imperial ambitions, Dhritarashtra wanted to become a king, and he contrived all sorts of intrigues in consultation with his brother-in-law Shakuni. But everything failed by the will of the Lord. And at the last stage, even after losing everything, man and money, he wanted to remain as king, being the oldest uncle of Maharaj Yudhisthira. Maharaj Yudhisthira, as a matter of duty, maintained Dhritarashtra in loyal honor. And Dhritarashtra was happily passing away his numbered days in the illusion of being a king or the loyal uncle of King Yudhisthira. Vidura, as a saint and as the duty-bound, affectionate youngest brother of Dhritarashtra, wanted to awaken Dhritarashtra from his slumber of disease and old age. Vidura therefore sarcastically addressed Dhritarashtra as the king, which he was actually not. Everyone is the servant of eternal time, and therefore no one can be king in this material world. King means the person who can order. The celebrated English king wanted to order time and tide, but the time and tide refused to obey his order. Therefore, one is a false king in the material world. And Dhritarashtra was particularly reminded of this false position and of the factual, fearful happenings which had already approached him at that time. Vidura asked him to get out immediately if he wanted to be saved from the fearful situation which was approaching him fast. Yeah. He did not ask Maharaj Yudhisthira in that way because he knew that a king like Maharaj Yudhisthira is aware of all the fearful situations of this frenzied world and would take care of himself in due course, even though Vidura might not be present at that time. Vidurastada pipretya Dhritarashtra abhashata Raja nigamya tam shrigram pashedam bhayam agatam. Translation again. Mahatma Vidura knew all this, and therefore he addressed Dhritarashtra saying, "My dear king, please get out of here immediately. Do not delay. Just see how fear has overtaken you." Om Jnana Timinandasya Jnananjana Sarakaya Chakshu Umilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Smadi Tamo Krishna Goswami Dinamine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Smadi Bhaktivedanta Swami Dinamine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachanine Nivishesha Shunavadi Praschati Deshatanine. Srila Prabhupada wrote really very powerful purport in this verse. First, Srila Prabhupada, he was saying that cruel death cares for none. It reminds me of a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, in the chapter 10, text number 34, where Lord Krishna, he says, Mityu Sava Haraschaham. Krishna says, I'm all devouring death. See, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he writes that as soon as a man is born, he dies at every moment. Say, you were 1 year old. Actually, we are always saying 1 year old. We do not say 1 year young. So why is like that? Because as soon as we, take our birth, death is already happening. So 1 year old, that means we are already died for 1 year. Now, as time goes by. Thus, death is devouring every living entity at every moment. But the last stroke is called death itself, and that death is Krishna. As for future development, all living entities undergo 6 basic changes. They are born, they grow, they remain for some time, they reproduce, they dwindle, and finally they vanish. Of these changes, the first is deliverance from the womb, and that is Krishna. The first generation is the beginning of all future activities. So death is actually inevitable. It's Krishna. See, yesterday night at the congregational office, dear Arita Prabhu and Ayatota Prabhu and myself, we were there, preaching to one student, a very nice student, Chinese students that dear Arita Prabhu met at the East LA College. Yeah. Because I'm from China, so dear Arita Prabhu, he invited me there to try to preach to that, Chinese girl. Yeah. So then I was talking to her, that explaining to her, because she was asking, what are all those about? What this Krishna consciousness is about. So I was explaining to her that actually this Krishna consciousness is about how human being, because we are having higher intelligence, more than the animals, the fish, or the trees, we can understand, we can ask questions like, why, I'm suffering? Yeah. Nobody wants to die, but why I'm dying at any moment? I don't want to, get old. I don't want to get disease. But why death, old age, disease is happening on me? The animals and the other living entities, they cannot understand this. They cannot ask questions like this. They are just, following their natural propensities. Means that they are just, engaged in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These basic, activities. But as human beings, because we have very much developed consciousness or intelligence, so we could ask questions like this. And then I was explaining to her, actually, the world we are living now is a place full of suffering. No matter how rich we are, no matter how famous we are, no matter how powerful we are, even if we are the president, becoming the president of the United States, still we have to suffer from old age, disease, and death. So that I was explaining to her, that means we human beings, we are actually controlled by some higher authorities. We are being controlled. So I was explaining to her that this Krishna consciousness will help us to understand who is that higher, controller. And then I was explaining to her that actually this material world is exactly like a prison house, like a jail. So just like, in the jail, an intelligent prisoner, he would try all kinds of ways to develop nice relationship with the jailer. Try to please the jailer in all kinds of ways. Because if the jailer or the policeman in the jail is pleased with the prisoner, then, the policeman in the jail can set free of the prisoner. And the prisoner can really enjoy freedom of life. So similarly, an intelligent human being, he should try his best to build up good relationship with that higher being, who is creator of everything, who is the controller of everything. Because once we can build up good relationship with him, then if he is pleased with our sincere endeavor, then he can set us free. As I was explaining, this to her, slowly she could realize that. And then I was explaining to her, actually, once we understand that higher being, then we can understand our true identity at the same time. That we can understand, actually, we are not this material body. We are actually the spirit soul within our body. I was, explaining to her that just like this material body has its needs. For example, when we are hungry, then naturally we want to eat some very nice, palatable food. Then, the hunger will be satisfied. So similarly, as living spirit soul, he also needs some food. And that food is the chanting of this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And dear Hari Prabhu, brought, a string of beads. And we start to teach her how to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Yeah. And then we were explaining to her that by chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, by focus our mind on hearing the sound vibration, slowly that will cleanse the dirt, the misconceptions within our heart. And slowly we can understand, actually, we are spirit soul, and we have, eternal relationship with that Supreme Soul, Krishna. But right now, because of the misidentify with this material body, so we are trying, to get as much as possible material things. But no matter how many material things we are having, no one can be really happy and satisfied. I was, telling her the analogy, just like a fish. If you take the fish out of the water, you can give the fish a very nice golden crown. You can give the fish a very nice soft bird, or you can, give the fish many nice, beautiful, naked young women, will the fish happy or not? And she said, no, the fish will not happy. Actually, the fish will struggle like anything. But as soon as you clear all these things away and just put the fish back to the water, the fish will swim very happily. So, because water is actually the natural atmosphere of the fish. So similarly, chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is actually the natural food for the spirit soul. And believe or not, she could somehow or other she could understand this. Yeah, she could understand this. That was really, and we invite her to come again. She will come again, probably this Sunday for the Sunday feast. Yeah. So I was really surprised because usually the Chinese people, when they come to America, they just want to learn from the Americans about the material, the advanced technology like that. But she was so spiritually inclined. And then she was telling me actually, she really does not like, because she was working in some medical company like that. And all the time, all of her colleagues, they just try to cheat people, how to make more money. And she was feeling, not very happy with that kind of job. So she was thinking, maybe she should just quit that job. It's a very nice, intelligent, student. I was really shocked, And then in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he was saying that this material world is actually a fringing world, fringing world. Yeah, just like that reminds me a drop of water on the lotus leaf. A drop of water on the lotus leaf. Even a very mild wind comes, the water will come up from the leaf, will be finished. Yeah. So this material world is actually like that. We human beings try to make some adjustment, so that we could live or stay in this material world forever. We try to solve problems of this material world. For example, in China, now more and more people is having cars, because people in China, they want to go very fast from one place to another. We have many cars now in China. But I just read the news. In the city I'm coming from, Shenzhen, every month there are about 90 people killed by the car accident. I was really shocked. It's like 3 people die a day in a city like Shenzhen. So you solved one problem, another problem comes. Yeah. So we cannot solve the problem of this material world by any material means. Yeah. So the only way, actually I realized the only way to solve the problem of this material world is by preaching this Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Just like a couple of days ago, like Vidura here, he is awakening the slumber of Dhritarashtra. A couple of days ago, I was, actually it was last week, I was distributing book on the pier. And one lady, she walked up to my table, and I showed her books about yoga meditation, and she really very excited on seeing books like this. And she she happily, gave me a good donation, and I was, praising her that actually you are a very smart person, because you can understand the importance of this spiritual knowledge. And she said, definitely, we have to wake up people by this spiritual knowledge. I was really, touched. We have to wake up. People has to be waked up by this spiritual knowledge. Yeah, I was really, shocked. Yeah, and if we sincerely try to distribute more and more Prabhupada's books, and slowly, people we can wake people from this slumber state of life, you see. Yeah. And that is the only hope. That is the only hope. Yeah. So that's what I want to say. So I will just stop here. Are there any questions and comments? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you for amazing class, Gauranga Prema Prabhu. You were speaking about developing a relationship with Krishna.
Right.
So what is the way that we can develop a relationship with Krishna?
So it is said in the Shastra that Harinama, Harinama, Harinama Iva Kevanam, Karu Nastyeva Gatyanyata. So in this age of Kali, the only way to get salvation, to build up good relationship with God, is chanting Hare Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. And there is no other way, no other way, no other way. So chanting Hare Krishna is the best way to build up good relationship with Krishna. And once Krishna is pleased with our, sincere endeavor, He can set us free at any time. Yeah. So we just need to chant this Hare Krishna and stay in the association of the devotees. Yes, Prabhu. We have a Namahata. We do not have official center, but we used to have programs in the homes of different devotees like that. Okay, so actually that was about almost like 30 years, 27, 28 years ago. Yeah. In those days, China has just been opened up to the Western countries. And many young people, they would go to the English corner. In those days, we have English corner in the city, particularly in some nice park, where young people will come and practice the English language skill. So as a young man at that time, I was also one of them. Yeah, because I was not really very satisfied with the situation at that time. I was thinking maybe I should, make some friends from overseas countries. Yeah, so that I can go, abroad like that. I was thinking like that. So one day I came to the English corner and I saw two nice men, one from America and one from India. They were chatting with lots of, Chinese young people there. So I was very interested in the topics they were talking about. They brought lots of, topics like, right now in the world, there are so many problems, lots of corruptions in the government of different countries, and lots of pollutions, air pollution, water pollution, food pollution. So we were talking about how we can solve all the problems. And those two men, they explaining to us, yeah, we have to, there are ways to solve this problem, but we have to cooperate with nature. And I was really attracted by this kind of topics. And then after the meeting, they invite whoever have interest in this kind of topic to their home, because they have rented some apartments in Shenzhen. I was really very happy, to be invited. And then I went there. And then later on, I found out actually they are Hare Krishnas. One is the devotee from Dallas, my god brother, Nanta Prabhu. Time to time he comes here. And another devotee is from Hong Kong, but actually originally he's from India, Devakinanta Prabhu. Yeah. And slowly by their association, I was really attracted by their good qualities. Yeah, they are so nice, so kind to me, just like my, brothers, just like my brother. They are really caring about me. I was really attracted. In the beginning, actually, I do not have much interest with the philosophy. Yeah, but after their association, after they feed me with lots of prashadam, halava, and I really enjoyed that. So after some purification, slowly, I can understand that the philosophy sounds really good. Because in China, we were taught that we are all coming from matter. We don't believe the existence of soul or the existence of God, As soon as somebody starting talking about the soul or God, immediately we will say that's superstitious. You cannot see, you cannot touch. That's superstitious. People will think like that. But after some time of association with those nice devotees, slowly, I understand it's very reasonable. And then they gave me the book by my Guru Maharaj, The Science of Yoga. And after reading that book, I was really convinced that Krishna must be there. The soul must be there. It's like that, Yeah. So I realized that we should, just like the Bhagavatam say, Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam Bhagavatam sevaya. Bhagavati utamashloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki. By regularly attendance of the classes of the Bhagavatam and by the association of the devotees, the great devotees, so all that which is troublesome within our heart will almost be cleansed away. And by that time, the dormant Krishna consciousness will be revived. Yeah. Okay. Jai. So we will stop here. Gantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hari Bol. Thank you. Jai Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Is it okay? Thank you.